Finally, man, I haven't been able to do a video in a while, a live one anyway. This one took a little bit longer to got off of work about an hour ago, I guess. And by the time I got home, I got cleaned up. Just now getting going here. Bear with me here as I try to figure something out. I'm trying to figure something out, man. Yeah, work with me. How the heck are you? Anyway, I am John the Beer and Whiskey Whisperer for the purpose of this video. I'm not figuring it out as quick as I would have hoped. uh, Let me try this. All right, there we go. Because the fox is in the hen house now. Oh. Okay, there we go. Anyways, again, how the heck are you? I just thought I'd try to get a quick one in. Halloween, I took the costume off. It was hot and sweaty at work, so took a shower, just got comfy. Costumes off, no more backgrounds. That's done. I just wanted to do it easy, man. Just wanted to have a little something to drink where I can relax. I haven't anything yet to drink today because I never drink on shift. Well, rarely. Sometimes you gotta take a sip here and there, you know. You gotta test your products, but for the most part, I do not. Fox is in the hen house now. There we go. Let me get back over here. And make sure that's working okay. Anyways, how the heck are you, man? Decided to pop beer. I haven't really been in the mood for beer lately. I know I hate to say that, but I just haven't. I've been having a hard time drinking beer for one reason or another. I was getting over an illness there, so I really hadn't been drinking a whole lot lately. But this one just sounded good. When I opened the fridge, I said, "Oh yeah, let's do that." So one big Imperial Stout, a very generous pour of some whiskey. In this case, it's Weller, the original wheated bourbon. This is their special reserve at 90 proof. This is actually a gift for my birthday back in May from Brian and Jason. So thank you guys. I think I mistakenly told Brian the other day that I finished it, and I didn't realize. Oh no, I still got some left. So I gave myself a very nice pour. There, let me show you that bottle. I'll show you the glass. Gave myself a rather generous, neat pour, as you can see. Let me tell you a little bit about this beer from Minocqua Brewing Company. This is their MuckRaker Stout at 9%. Let me put a little more on top of there. There's a beautifully done beer, so I thought these two would kind of pair well together. I had been doing a lot of cocktails. Today I just wanted a beer and some straight whiskey. I might have a cocktail later, but I didn't want to spend all that time fixing stuff up. So now we just need a beer, some whiskey. Let's just get there. Let's just get there, man. Anyway, oh, mercy. Oh. Things are going really well for me at the moment. I've been trying to stay out of trouble. with mixed results. But yeah, I've been trying to fly under the radar lately and not post a lot of politics on my Facebook page. That seems to get me in some trouble. And in some ways, that's, I've got to find a way to reel it. So I've blocked a lot of political content from even showing up, and I'm getting more as more pops up. I'm just blocking the content. I just don't want to see it because I don't want to get fired up. So I want to concentrate on what makes me happy. I don't want to get into the nonsense, and so I've been kind of eliminating some aggravators as well. Even if there's some blood related in there. I mean, I've got some cousins, and I don't know, second cousins or first cousins, once removed, whatever, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of folks with some negativity out there, and I've just been getting rid of them. I mean, I don't care if there's some so-called blood involved. I think a lot of us spend too much time thinking about that instead of just hanging out with decent people. So I've just kind of gotten over it. I'm just scrubbing the negative away, whether we're supposed to share some blood or not. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of people hating and then say, well, but it's because of this religious book. No, you've made a conscious decision to spread hate, and it has nothing to do with that book. You're using that to justify. And I just getting rid of it. I'm not going to mourn the loss of somebody who spent his entire life spreading hate and discourse. Somebody who is clearly a bigot. No, I'm not gonna feign some kind of remorse for someone that was just a genuine horrible person. Now, if that hurts your feelings, that's just too damn bad. You know, we don't have to have anything to do with each other, and I think that's the part that so many people miss. We don't have to have anything to do with each other. I mean, most of these people I've never met in my entire life anyway, so the fact that we may share some blood just doesn't really matter. Well, I'm just going to be a decent person and not be a horrible bigot and homophobe, and you just do you. Uh, this stout, this Imperial Stout from Minocqua Brewing Company, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. If you want to know the truth, it is absolutely brilliant. This beer is so good. See if I can read some of this here. My lighting is better over here. My eyes are a little fuzzy, though, I will tell you. The MuckRakers were reform-minded journalists, writers, and photographers during America's Gilded Age, 1890s to 1920. They shined a light on the corruption of our country's oligarchy, along with politicians who did their bidding. Unfortunately, this is where we find ourselves again. President Teddy Roosevelt, who coined their name, relied upon the muckrakers to help build a movement strong enough to break the billionaires' monopolies and give power back to the people. And we need to do that again. This is absolutely ridiculous what's going on right now. Like the muckrakers in America's first Gilded Age, the Minocqua Brewing Company seeks to monitor, document, and dismantle government abuse at the hands of Trump's MAGA thugs, of volunteer citizen journalists. Reading the can. Reading the can, folks. So the sale of this great tasting Imperial Stout will help fund these efforts. This really is an outstanding beer. I got to tell you, most of the products I've had from them have been just incredible. Oh man, it has just done it extremely well. Do I get the rest of it in there now, or get close to it? There we go. Let's fill that up. Let me set that can back. Oh yeah, look at that head on there now. That's gorgeous. And I'm gonna set that down for a second. Now let it breathe. Now warm up a second. We're gonna focus on this whiskey for a minute and a half here. It's a little bit, man. Um, the Weller, the original wheat of bourbon, so special reserve at 90 proof. W.L. Weller was born in Kentucky in the year 1825. After serving with the Louisville Brigade, excuse me, in the 1840s, Weller returned to Louisville to open his wholesale liquor business. He was reported to have used the slogan "honest whiskey at an honest price." His wheated recipe bourbon had a softer, smoother taste that became very popular. Pappy Van Winkle eventually merged Weller's namesake company with the A.P.H. Stitzel Distillery to form the Stetzel Weller Distillery. This delicate bourbon with hints of caramel and honey honors one of America's first whiskey pioneers. Yeah, it is the delicate. And in all honesty, that's probably why I still prefer traditional bourbons that use rye as a secondary. But there is a place for a bourbon like this. And I think that's why a lot of, especially new bourbon drinkers, tend to flock to the wheated bourbon such as this, and a starter bourbon is Buffalo Trace, because they are a little sweeter and they are a little softer. They're not quite as complex as a good rye bourbon or even a high rye bourbon, which I preferred in all honesty. But yes, I mean, every once in a while, a bourbon like this just tastes good. It is easy on the palate, a little softer and sweeter than its traditional bourbon counterparts. And the nose on this really is exquisite as well. They mentioned caramel and honey, but I'm going to put some slightly finer points on it there. I definitely get a lot of honey on the nose. That's for damn sure. Feel like I get just a hint of maple in there. You might pick out some dark fruits as well. That's really between you and But I can see why folks just discovering bourbon kind of flock to the wheateds first, because again, they are a little softer, they are a little sweeter. They're a little easier on the palate if you're not used to it. So I get it actually, and maybe that's why I do prefer a traditional bourbon, because that's where I started. I'm coming to this secondary, so I'm not feeling it the same way as somebody just now discovering bourbon and starting here. Oh, that's nice. I did work today on Halloween. It was very nice, man. I had a great day at work. I went sort of in costume, right? It was more of a theme, right? Because I didn't, I didn't want to be encumbered. I didn't want any makeup or face paint or anything. But I did kind of mess my hair a little bit. Did a kind of a mad scientist thing. Wore my banter apron. Had some kind of fake test tubes, with some liquid. Kind of looked like a little crazy mad scientist bit. Kind of fit this. It was just a very slightly, very slightly exaggerated version of myself. But anyway, do have the weekend off though. I'm gonna go out and see a show tomorrow, a concert, if you will. Really hadn't been out to listen to some music in a while. Let me set that down for a second. A friend of mine is a promoter of the show, Rob Adams, and the musicians are kind of. Even though they might not have a large national following, they're kind of local legends around these parts. Well, Springfield does kind of have a storied, how do I want to say, a storied, musical or music community. Of course, the biggest claim to fame is the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, but there were some other groups that had lesser fame. But anyway, the act I'm seeing tomorrow is Kaufman, and Cardwell. They're probably names that aren't going to mean anything to most of you out there, but anybody from Springfield or even the Ozarks area, they're going to be familiar with these guys. But they're playing a venue, kind of more of an upscale club, almost like a kind of an old school thing. Place called the Stardust Ballroom. I've never been there, but the way it's set up, it kind of gives you that old feel kind of club vibe. But it's not an SRO show. You pay for an actual seat. It's mostly table setup, so it's kind of set up like that. Again, that old school club vibe. And the place is 5 minutes from my house, which is nice. I don't even have to get onto a major street. I can walk it if I had to. It's close, which is the main reason. Again, there was a lot of things that fell in line. One, my friend was promoting the show. The venue was close. I was kind of curious. The venue has hosted a lot of acts that I thought about going, but just never got around to it. So this gives me a good opportunity to check out the venue. Like I said, it's very close to home. That it's an early show, right? It starts at 7, which I would love shows that started about 5, but I know that's just me. But it starts at 7, so I mean I could very well be home by 10, which is nice. Yeah, I don't want the shows lasting until midnight anymore. I'm old. I want to get home. So yeah, the show starts at 7, so I'll probably get there a little early. Doors open at 6. I don't necessarily need to get there that early because, like I said, I have a dedicated seat at a table. So if I get there about 6:15, 6:30, I might get a chance to interview one of the members. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to set that in stone yet, but I'm hoping. But yeah, I kind of want to get there early too to just kind of check out the venue. But I am curious how it's set up, though. I know they have some upscale cocktails, so I'm kind of envisioning that that lounge of the '60s, or the '50s even, where they have an old movies with Bing Crosby and others, where they have them, on the stage. And there's nice tables all around. That's what I'm envisioning. That's what I'm going to give. That's what I'm envisioning. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Actually, I would love to see that kind of class come back. Uh, So now that I've let this warm up a bit, that nose, it's really become more aromatic. I'm getting those big roasted barley notes. A lot of dark chocolate, maybe a little dark roast coffee in there as well. Flavors again, a lot of molasses. Getting a lot of molasses in there. Set that down. I'm going to focus on this whiskey a minute. Oh, oh. Haven't had this in a while. Actually, for some reason I thought I finished it. I just realized I didn't today. There's that bottle. Let's have a little bit. It is very enjoyable whiskey. I can see why bourbons like this are good starter bourbons, right? So they mentioned honey and caramel, and I'm going to agree with that. But I do want to put a little finer point on there. There are some nice barrel notes in the finish that are very enjoyable. Almost to get it's typical to get some cinnamon or some allspice. A lot of bourbons will even or barrel notes will impart uh, various baking spices, clove, nutmeg, etc. But here I feel like I'm getting just a touch of white pepper in the finish. Uh, my first alcohol of the day. It's nice. I can sit, relax, take it easy. Uh, Set that down. Focus on this beer just a little bit more. Little back and forth action here. I usually fix my wife and something to eat when we get off work, but she'd been making so much food to bring up to my work for Halloween, and then some folks brought in some pizza at the end of the night, so I ate a little piece of pizza. Or I don't know. Let me take that back. I didn't eat a little piece. I ate a couple really big pieces of pizza, so I wasn't really hungry, and she wasn't. But I'll probably fix us something here in a little bit before we color an evening. Uh, but typically when I work like this, I'm not ready for bed right away. So we may just watch a movie. But I wanted to do a live video because I haven't had a chance to do a live video in quite some time. And I don't know if I'll get a chance to do it tomorrow. I've got that show. But again, I should be home by 10. So, and I don't know if I'll record any, I won't do any live video from there, but I don't know if I'll record any. I won't record the concert, but I don't know if I'll record anything around there, I guess. Let me say that. But I may do a video when I get home to talk to you about it and tell you what I found out. But I am grateful to have the full weekend off. I haven't had a full weekend off in a little bit. Excuse me. We don't always need two in a row, but I've had one day and then work, and then one day and then work. So I'm grateful to have the whole weekend off so I can kind of regroup. Uh, but other than that show tomorrow night, I don't plan on getting overly ambitious this week. And I plan on doing absolutely nothing Sunday. Set this down, work on this whiskey just a little bit more. Oh, But I'm looking forward to that show because, like I said, I haven't got out to listen to some music in a while. And I don't like to do it as much as I once did, in all honesty. But when I haven't gone out in a while, it just sounds good. And like I said, I really want to check out this venue. So I'm curious how it's set up, and I want to. Maybe that's probably why I'll do a live video tomorrow after I get home, so I can tell you about how it's set up and my thoughts. They've had other shows that I've been curious about, but the timing wasn't right. I've either had to work it or there was something where I couldn't go to that particular evening. They did it all on Fridays, and I work every Friday night, so it's got to be Saturday, but I've been pulling some Saturdays as well. So, and I tend to work more Saturdays into the holiday season. Oh, mercy. Read this video a little longer than I intended, so I'm probably going to wrap up before I finish everything. But anyway, MuckRaker Imperial Stout. Just don't drink that fast anymore. There was a time, and now I just want to relax and enjoy it. So, anyways, Weller Reserve. That's nice. So they mentioned honey, but I'm going to put a finer point on it. Like I said earlier, I feel like you get a little raw sugar note early on that kind of bursts into that honey note. Yeah, I'm not getting those. I'm getting some caramel a little bit in there, but I'm not getting those big decadent like some will burst into some deep brown sugar, molasses. This whiskey feels very subtle. You may get notes of molasses or even brown sugar. You may even get a hint of maple, but it is everything is very light and subdued. And I don't mean that as a negative. I'm just telling you it's a very approachable whiskey. Anyway, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I'm also Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. Uh, Let me start over. Take two. I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker. Really, this is the first I've had a drink today. Purveyor of wisdom. I'm also Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. Slunchy guys. Thanks for tuning in.